Now is the time of harvest. Cast out your nets, revival is upon the earth. God is pouring out His Spirit on all flesh. Jesus said this gospel must be preached to all mankind, and then the end will come.
Here. And that's how we need to be in the house of God, because that's a taste of heaven, isn't it, for people that come into the house of God. So everybody in the church is a host or hostess, not just the pastor and not just the on-duty greeters, but everyone needs to take that responsibility. It's just good manners. And so when that doesn't happen, when people feel invisible or they don't feel welcomed or wanted, we take a hit, an emotional hit. And so we need our emotional tank filled up, and acknowledgement does that. And when people take the time to look us in the eye and smile and ask our name or get to know us a little bit, then that fills that emotional tank. We have been acknowledged that we have value. I've done this out and about on the street. Like sometimes I'll see an older person, probably a widow or widower, and then I'll make sure that I'm real friendly to them, talk to them on the way into wherever the restaurant or wherever we're going. And they just so brighten up that somebody noticed that they exist. You know, it doesn't take much to really make somebody's day special. So just think about that. You're filling people's emotional tank just by acknowledging them that they have value. So what hinders that is when we're self-conscious, because when we're self-conscious we think, well, what will they think of me if I reach out and if I'm friendly? They're going to love it. That's what they're going to think. If they do give you that drop-dead look, just say, well, hi, you know, I just wanted to get acquainted with somebody. I'm new here. And then that right away causes them to realize, oh, I should have been friendly to you. If we are others conscious, then we're thinking, how can I make that person feel good? But if we are God conscious, what we're thinking about is, how could I, or what could I say on God's behalf in order for Him to be able to reveal His love to them? And so what we want to do is to be God conscious and be aware of whatever I do, I'm touching them on behalf of God, and it's as though God Himself were personally reaching into their heart and saying, I love you, you have value in my sight, and I'm so glad that we are a family together. Well, Romans 8:19 says, all of creation is waiting in eager expectation for the sons and the daughters of God to be revealed. So let's get busy and let's go out and do it with joy, because that's something that the whole earth is waiting on. So let's get going, and so they don't have to wait anymore. So we have the Great Commission, which is you go and tell. We see that in Mark 16 and in Matthew 28, that we've all been given this Great Commission to go and tell others about the good news. We have the Great Commandment, which is coming out of John 13:34, where we're told to go out and love other people. And then we have the Great Commitment, which is John 13:14, where we are to go and serve one another, to wash each other's feet. Ephesians 6:7 tells us that we're served wholeheartedly as if you were serving the Lord and not man. Because in reality, that's what you're doing. When I serve you, I'm serving Jesus. Hallelujah. And if you're cranky and don't receive it, that's all right. Jesus received it. So he's going to give me my reward, not you. So I can keep on being kind and sweet and friendly to you, even when you're cranky back, all right? Ephesians 4:12 says we're to prepare God's people for works of service. And part of those works of service that we're to do is to be hospitable in the house of God and to reach out to people. So again, just in a little refresher recap, beginner steps here is just take it upon yourself to learn the names of visitors or those that you don't know very well. Sit and visit with them. Get their phone number, give them your phone number, call them during the week just to say hi and begin developing a relationship. Then start introducing them to a couple of your friends so that you can find people that will relate to them. You know, Matthew 9:38 says, here I am, Lord, send me. We know that from Isaiah as well. But in Matthew 9 it says, ask the Lord of the harvest, therefore, to send out workers into his harvest field. Well, he's calling you and me to do that, isn't he? Yep, he's calling you and me to do that, to be workers in his harvest field. And it's so easy. And just like our Cam Key verse says in Romans 15:29, I'm sure that when I come unto you, I shall come in the fullness of the blessing of the gospel of Christ. And you know, in Matthew 13, it talks about, Jesus said that students well trained in kingdom business would be like the owner of a general store, where they could just take a hold of whatever was needed for the situation. And that's what we're like when we learn in CAM how to have those tools of the trade for the Father's family business and become weapons of mass destruction. And we start out by just developing this new concept of reaching out everywhere we go. So let's reach out and
we look forward to working together to advance God's kingdom in this hour of harvest.